Hello and welcome to the Leeds Up Podcast. I'm James, and I'm with Rocco Dean.
Hello.
And Darragh Cunningham.
Hello there.
We were just debating before this, do we just sit in silence for 20 odd minutes? 5 minutes, cut it short maybe, I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it, after the 1-0 defeat to Portsmouth. But before we get into that, Rocco, special thanks to
Fratton Park, Spieler Street in Harrogate.
Pentax.
anyone new to this is going to be like, what are they talking about? Have they got some sort of photographic Tourette's or something?
There's no one new to this. No one's tuning in for the first time after that crap.
That's true. That's a very good point. Bass and Bly sponsor the podcast. They are a photographic dealership based in Harrogate, North Yorkshire, and also internationally, because they're on the World Wide Web at bassandbly.com. They sell the very best in gear from Pentax. We've already mentioned Panasonic, Sony, Zeiss, Hasselblad, some very good professional format. Don't know if I mentioned that. I haven't mentioned that name.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselblad.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselblad, yeah, that's right. He'll leave you for 12 million. And they sell lots of used gear as well. And there is an offer on at the moment. If you go on the site, there's a little pop-up. It'll come up for a £10 off voucher when you spend £100. So sign up with your email address to get that. Anything else, Rocco, from them we need to mention? From our lovely mate Justin, saw him today.
Oh, did you? How was he? Was
Very
it pre-match or post?
It was post-match. We didn't talk about it.
For the best.
Yes, for the best. But yeah, go to bassandbly.com and get everything you need from there. Yeah, absolutely gutted after today. They're always weekend ruiners, those, aren't they? But why does it always happen to Leeds? Why? Tell me.
Because we're spineless. That's why. We don't have the fight. We're too arrogant to fight. Don Revie's team didn't do it because they were dirty Leeds. They had a bit of fight about them. We need to get that back. Ready for a rant, lads. I'm ready for a rant. When we get into it, I'm gonna be.
Who wants to rant first then? Come on. Let's have it. We need it. We need the catharsis.
Shall I be the voice? Should we do the voice of reason second or first? Should we let Darragh rant first?
I think rants are good because it gets it off your chest, and then the voice of reason is the sort of thing you're like, oh yeah, we've got a game on Wednesday, haven't we? So
hang on a minute. I'm not comfortable with Rocco being the voice of reason.
well, he's making assumptions that he is as well. We'll be the judge of that.
You know what? I'm going to rant. He's going to join me on the rant. You're going to convince him. Right, no, I'm fuming. I'm absolutely fuming, right? I don't mind losing a game. 1 game in 18. Listen, it's been a great run. You got to lose a game sometime, right? Don't mind that. The annoying thing is it was predictable. The annoying thing is that we weren't outplayed. We were outfought. Man for man, all over the pitch. Every single player lost their battle. And yet, we still created enough chances to win the game, but we had no quality. So we got one-on-one with the keeper like 3 times. One time was an open goal. Peru skied it. Rose Ed. And to be fair, Peru's been brilliant all season. He's missed nothing. So, what a day to throw in a performance like that. But the thing that really upset me, the thing that really annoyed me, was when their left-back, Ogilvy, went in on Melier. And you could see it coming. Melier was getting there first. It was clearly one of those ones, I'm going to get there last. I'll leave a bit on him. And you see the shot from behind the goal. And Pascal Stroke is standing right there behind it. He's clearly in the camera as the two of them are on the ground. And as the guy clatters Melier, he just kind of goes, he should be screaming. He's supposed to be the Leeds United captain. That's a chance to get someone sent off. Like if Ampadu was on that pitch, he's going absolutely apoplectic. If you watch Firpo's reaction when Dan James got taken out for the penalty, he's turned around to the ref, he's screaming, he's in his face. Why was Stroke, our captain, not showing a bit of fire in that moment? A, because his keepers have been cleaned out by a cynical foul. And B, because you have a chance to get in the keeper, in the referee's face, get the guy booked or sent off, get the crowd G'd up, a bit of feeling hard done by, and maybe then he gets a bit of fire in the belly. There was no fire in the belly today. Absolutely none. It was all too controlled. It was back to being side to side again. Too many players having off days. And it wasn't even that they had off days. Those off days have been coming. Like Solomon's done nothing for a few weeks now. Aronson's done nothing for a few months now. I mean, Jesus Christ. When is he going to come out of the team? Like, when is he going to come out of the team? Rothwell has been coming on and do well. Play 3 in midfield. You know it's going to be a battle. Like one of the things Farke said, we knew exactly how they would play. You knew exactly how they would play. You played Brendan Aronson. Like seriously, if you had played Rothwell in the midfield 3, at least you'd have an extra player to drop a little deep, beat their press, pick up the ball and turn it. Like, Aronson offered nothing all day, as he's offered nothing since he scored against Cardiff. I think was his last goal months ago. He's done nothing. Why is he untouchable? Yeah, so there you go. I mean, like, there's a few stuff like that just annoying me. Like, the players as well, not just Farke, I got the players as well. Like, why is their problem with adjusting to in-game transitions? They have to figure stuff out for themselves as well. They were pressing us, or Portsmouth were pressing us really high up the pitch. Why isn't Tanaka dropping a little bit deeper and then feathering balls into channels for Solomon and James to chase into? Daniel Farke shouldn't have to tell you that. If you're under the cosh, they had 4 men on our 4 defenders. An extra man drops back, picks up a little space, and just starts feathering balls into channels and let the pace of our 2 wingers, which are the 2 best wingers in the league, chase the ball down. So stuff like this is happening, and it's driving me mad. The fact it was a tight pitch as well, our wingers were always going to be a little bit nullified. To be fair, their one wasn't there. I thought, man, Murphy was excellent. Even the quality of his balls in, Premier League class, like whipping them in, making really difficult situations for us to come and deal with. So it's not just about the pitch. But if we're going to have to go through the middle, then you can't play Aronson because he's just not good enough on the ball. He's all about the press. So, yeah, look, that's the start of a rant. I've got more, but just Leeds, come on. Like, why is it without Ampadu? And I've got a good start on Ampadu for later. Why is it without Ampadu? We just have no one who's willing to grab someone by the scruff. Like, literally grab someone by the shirt and fucking put a bit of fight into them. Like, come on. Sometimes you just got to smash someone. Just go in, just smash someone. Just get yourself a yellow card. Just get into someone, hit them. There's none of that.
That's the thing with the one on the keeper that you mentioned. It's one thing going to the ref, but they should be going to the player. They should be all steaming into the player and, like, you know, being a team, not just crying to the ref, which you see mostly nowadays. Someone goes in high on the player and they're not bothered about the teammate breaking the leg. They just want to try and get the guy sent off. And yeah, you know, there should be at least, some more fire. But maybe, again, I mean, that might be Farke, just telling them to stay out of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I can't disagree with any of that, really. It's definitely how it was. Portsmouth were really good. Well, I suppose the thing I do disagree with would be the Aronson thing, because he's played all season and we've only lost 3 matches. So I don't think it was because he played that we got overrun. It's because Tanaka was shite. Gruev did nothing, and we just had a bad day, and they were completely at it. And yeah, we never got going at all.
I was thinking back to how annoyed we used to get when we used to play Spurs, and Harry Kane was always in the ref's ear, wasn't he? Always. So all the players would start sort of squaring up to one another in whatever melee had happened, and then Harry Kane was in the ear of the ref, and it's like, you're right, it's like we need that dynamic of people getting in the players' faces and also getting in the referees. And Darragh using the expletives on the podcast. First of all, he said Jesus Christ, and I made a note here that I think maybe in future we change this and it's Johan Cruyff in your in your accent. I feel like I have to cut some of the tension a little bit. But I'm with you. Like, I was so annoyed and deflated today, and almost could see it coming a mile off. It's like so Leedsy. It is so Leedsy. But I'll come on to something that I spotted as well, which might make you feel a bit better.
Funny, because I thought Melier was looking brilliant. I thought he had a great game. He looked like really confident right from the off. Like confident, catching balls, you know, dealing with crosses, getting good punches, distribution good, some first time throwouts without even faking to throw it. Like he looked completely on it. And then, I completely blame him for the goal, because the guy didn't get to the ball until almost the 6-yard box. It was a horrendous decision. Again, gutted.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I was literally about to say in our WhatsApp group that Melier was brilliant. He was catching everything, he was punching everything, he was getting great distance on his punches. Like you say, his throwouts were spot on. He was our best player, the most on it, up until that goal. And if you watch the goal back, like, his starting position is so bad. Like, they're around the halfway line and he's in the 6-yard box. Like, that's why keepers push up to at least a penalty spot in those situations, because they cover that space in behind. You know, if the ball comes in over the top, they run out and they just kick it out for a throw in. And that's what he should have done. You can see in it, he goes, stops and goes again. And at that stage, he's put himself out of it. Now, yeah, Rodon could have dropped an extra yard or two to make sure the guy doesn't get a run on him. But that's where your keeper's there as well. If Melier is in the right position that doesn't happen, because if he's in the right position, if he's around the penalty spot, he has to come. There's no indecision. That's you're the nearest man to it. You go there, you get there early, and it's no big deal. It actually probably looks like a stupid pass, but because of where he was and the hesitation, he turned a very average pass into a world-beating pass, which then even went in off the post as well. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Within about 2 minutes, their keeper had come 40 yards out of his goal to stop one of our through balls. It's just like, that's what he's supposed to do. He was asleep. Nightmare.
Yeah, it is a nightmare. And and I think Rodon probably also expected Melier to be higher up the pitch as well, because he just jogged, didn't he? He turned around and just jogged, and then I think he started to move his arms out. I think he could have done, but his expectations were different on the turn. He turned around and thought, hang on a minute, I'm way behind here. And then assumed, I think, from that point that Melier was going to come out, and he just didn't. He sort of sidestepped, didn't he?
And the other thing is, it was Strauch's man.
Yeah.
Strauch was on it. He ran off Strauch, so I don't know why no one's talking about that.
I thought Strauch was really poor all day.
Well, I think he's cost us quite a few goals, you know. He does make mistakes, and he wasn't.
I remember us talking about Strauch in the Premier League, actually, and there was a point that we made on a podcast a long time ago that Strauch is very good, but he's much better with another leader on the pitch. And, this might be a segue into the point that you wanted to make about Ampadu, Darragh, but I think it feels like we're missing Ampadu big time at the minute. I know it's only 2 games, 3 games, and one of those was a win against Sheffield United, but the signs are there that are worrying for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said it after the Blackburn defeat that Ampadu coming back would resolve our away performances, and it seems to have been proved correctly since then. I think the performance away to Sheffield United maybe gave us a bit of false hope that we didn't need him, and I think we've seen since then that we absolutely do. So there was a stat on Instagram. I'm not sure who put it. It was Twitter, wasn't it? I'm not sure who put it up, James. Do you remember who it was?
LUFC Data, was it?
LUFC Data, exactly who it was. So they showed that we hadn't won an 11 or 12 p.m. kickoff in 13 games or so. So I went back
2 in 13.
Sorry, we'd won 2 in 13, exactly.
Yeah.
So I went back and had a look at the last 10. And ironically, that actually takes us back to Portsmouth, first game of the season. So it was a nice little sample set. So of those games, Ampadu has finished 6. He did start 5, but he came off injured against Burnley. So he didn't play the full game. So of the 4 that he played the full game, we have a 50% win rate. We've won 2 and we've lost 2. All right, so he's there for the fight. Of the 6 that he didn't finish, and the 5 of them he didn't play at all. 1 of them he started and played about half the match and got subbed off injured. Of that 6, he wasn't there for. We have won 0, lost 3, drawn 3. So for me, this isn't about ability on the pitch. This is about leadership and attitude and a bit of fight. Because there's this 12 o'clock thing, it means nothing. Like, don't tell me players can't play at 12 o'clock, but they can play at 3. Like, I mean, it's not past their bedtime. It's ridiculous. There's something going on there. Other teams are just up against us and they're getting results because they're outfighting us. As we said kind of previously, no one's going to beat us for football in this league. They might outfight us. They'll never outplay us. So if that's the case, players really need to have a look at themselves. Really need to have a look at themselves if they can't put up a bit of a fight without Ethan Ampadu. Now, it goes to show he is, beyond doubt, our most influential player, our most important player. Because when he's in the team, it's a 50% win ratio, and when he's not, it's a 0% win ratio. And that is terrifying, given the business end of the season is upon us, and he's out injured.
I think he'll be back soon, don't they? Well, sooner. Was it after the international break? Were they hoping?
It was 6 weeks from the injury, wasn't it?
I'm hoping there's like some sort of AI cyborg thing going on. I'm just patching him up right now. Why does this happen to us? Although I say that, and this is the thing that I thought you might be cheered up by, but I saw All Things Sheffield United, which is All Things Blades on Twitter, and they've said would be the most Sheffield United thing ever to drop points on Tuesday, wouldn't it? So, I think every fan feels like they've got it in them. Their team's got it in them. And so we're no exception. But I think we do seem to fall off the wagon a bit more than other clubs.
I think we've just got to, we've got to also appreciate that teams are going to drop points, and
well, they have.
We have to see how we respond to this, really,
Yeah. The other thing which we put in our WhatsApp group earlier is that Sheffield United and Burnley have both got to play one another. Both sets of teams have got to play West Brom, who are playing. Play Coventry, who are playing very well at the moment. Sheffield United, I think, has to play West Brom as well. So it's not an easy run-in for them. If you look at it, we play a lot of lower opposition teams than they do. They have to play top 5 position quite a few times. Yeah, I mean, but that also didn't work out for us last season. They were the games that we slipped up in. So, and I think it's Darragh. It probably goes back to what you were saying about the out-fought. That's where we just need some strong minds in the game that try to outmuscle rather than outplay. I think that's actually a thing that we really need to work on, because Sheffield United seem to be very good at that. There's times where they don't play very well at all, and they'll just outmuscle their way to a victory.
We need a few more nasty players. That's what we need. You need a few players who are just going to refuse to lose. Like put their face on the line, kick lumps out of other players, pick up dirty bookings. You need a bit of that guile at this time of the season. We're lacking that big time. Now, look, we're top of the league. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're a poor team. We're the best team in the league. But sometimes you need something a little different. And it's not without, no, let me say that again. It's not outside the player's capabilities. We're not talking about ability here. This is attitude. It's mindset. It's, I'm not going to lose. It's, you've just kicked my keeper and there's a melee. That's what should be happening. We're a bit too nicey. Let's get some nastiness back in there. Ironically, one of your players who usually be a nasty player is your defensive midfielder. They're usually the ones that break stuff up, throw an elbow in the face, all that stuff like Batty used to do, and Ince and all those kind of players around that era who were all nasty pieces of work. And unfortunately, Gruev is too nice. I don't know what's happening with Gruev, because I really rate Gruev. I thought he was excellent last season. I think he saved our season last season. Like, if he hadn't have been as good as he was when Ampadu got injured, or no, when Stroke got injured and Ampadu had to drop back into midfield, or from midfield, we'd have been nowhere. And then you see him today, he's a bit of a shadow of himself. I don't think Tanaka is too good at playing with him either. I think Tanaka is at his absolute best when he's playing with Joe Rothwell, because he's the one who drops that bit deeper and it just seems to suit him. He seems to dictate more. He seems to have a bit more time on the ball. He gets a bit more confident in that. Like, he was poor today. So we need a bit of that nastiness in us and a bit of that fight. But I can take getting beaten. I just don't like getting beaten like that. I just don't like any Leeds team being outfought. That's just unacceptable. That's the bare minimum. And it goes to show we've gone 18 games and 1 loss, and we're top of the league on goal difference. It just goes to show how tough it is to win a league. Like, you literally can't miss up. You have to be relentless for the whole season. But on a kind of relentlessness, I suppose Melier is probably someone who's obviously going to get a bit of stick for that goal. But at the other end, one of my favourite players, Joel Peru, missed 2 absolute sitters. And that's the striker's equivalent of Melier's mistakes. Because the one where the keeper saved it and ricocheted to Peru, they're the ones he buries all day, every day. I actually was looking at the bottom corner. I was like, that's where he's putting it. And then he didn't. But probably a more difficult chance, that one. But the other one where Solomon cut it back to him and he just let it bobble and skied it over the bar, like, that was outrageously bad. That was so bad. Like, I can kind of forgive Junior Firpo, he's a left back. Like, when he got through 1-on-1 with the keeper, I still should have finished it. But Peru, come on. I'm not thinking about...
It wasn't like it was on his wrong foot as well, was it?
He has another wrong foot, but his left is his better foot, yeah.
Yeah, the one in the first half. Gutted he didn't score that. It would have changed everything at that point, because it was 0-0, wasn't it? And there was a couple back-to-back where we probably should have scored. So Leeds United, eh? Leeds United.
Yeah. The Firpo one annoyed me. I don't know why players don't just lift it a bit. Just lift it a tiny bit. It definitely goes in.
I know I said...
said and done.
I know I said that I could forgive her, right? But at the time, my mother-in-law was over with us, helping with the kids. And when Firpo did it, I screamed and fucking I smacked the couch and the remote controls went into the air, and she was like, I was like, yeah, sorry about that. So no, I wasn't calm at the time. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was fuming for the rest of the match after that.
So you got the after his nice little cameo last week. The shell, Matteo Joseph was back, wasn't he? He was awful. Oh my God, he can't control the ball.
Did we tell everyone why we called him Shell?
No,
I don't think we did. You can't just drop that in here, Rocco.
You explain it. You came up with it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't wanted you to say it, so it didn't look like I was the bad person. We think Rocco thinks that Matteo Joseph is a shell of his former self, so we call him Shell. Because he is. It's like something's happened to him. It's weird, isn't it? And he doesn't even go up for 50-50 headers either, does he? He tries to sort of let it fall over so he can run onto it. It's like, I don't know. It just feels like there's something wrong with him, and I can't put my finger on it.
You ever seen Space Jam?
Yeah, it is like that. Rocco hasn't watched any film.
Obviously not.
They've taken the aliens have come and taken his talent.
Yeah. He's a young player. He's had a tough season, and it's all sort of. I think it's all just got on top of him now. It's his first season in the first team squad. He's not playing reserve games. Maybe he needs that. Don't know, but he is really struggling. It's like it's basically you can't bring him on if he's going to play like that. But having said that, he did do better last week. So, but yeah, nearly every appearance he's done this year has been awful. And Ramazani came on was absolutely awful as well. Like within seconds, he'd like waited for a ball to get to him and was beaten to it because he was just on his heels. And he was like that the whole game. And it just makes you think, Farke's obviously come under so much heat for not bringing him on more. But, we're not seeing what's happening in training. And yeah, today I thought it was awful.
We're missing Bamford, is that what you're saying, Rocco?
Yeah,
this is what comes out after every defeat, doesn't it? I think the last time we mentioned Bamford, we're like, we just need Bamford back.
We're always better with Bamford.
Oh, God.
It would be nice to have options, though. It would be nice to have more options. Like, it's almost like we should have bought someone or even loaned someone in the January transfer window up front.
I almost don't want to talk about it because I know it's how everyone feels, but in hindsight and all that, but it feels like we needed someone else, particularly if we're going to be that screwed if Ampadu drops out. Like, if the club know those stats of him playing and how important he is, it feels weird that we've not backed that up in some way. I mean, we've got Kilavugi.
It's hard though, isn't it? Like, take Van Dijk out of Liverpool's team.
You can't, you can't replace him.
Your most important player, you can't. But yeah, what we're going to do about Aronson? Do you think he'll ever get dropped? He has been crap, hasn't he?
He's been crap for a long time, and I don't think he'll be dropped. I think Farke's season was pivotal to how we play, particularly in transition. He is good on the half turn, brilliant at it. But if that's his one good thing on the ball, it's not good enough for me. I don't think he will get dropped. I personally, obviously, would drop him. I'd love to see a midfield if Ampadu's not there of Gruev, Tanaka, and Roswell. I don't see the problem with that. Like for Farke, who wants control, I mean, yeah, you're probably not. Your 10 isn't pushing up as much as Aronson would, but with the amount of control you'd have with those three in midfield, you could really push teams back and then pin them in. So for me, I'd love to see that. I don't think I'll see it. Nanto looked lively today. I wouldn't mind him getting a start for either Aronson or Solomon in the next game.
Yeah, agree.
Do we have a man of match? Should we move on from this?
We definitely can't give it to Melier, but I'm out of ideas. I don't know who you would
Rodon was excellent in the first half and not so excellent in the second half.
Let's cancel the man of the match this week.
Can't give it to Furpo because he missed a sitter. Give it to Byron for nearly scoring.
Yeah, that was probably the best. That was probably the only chance the keeper actually had to save. Everything else was bounced off him.
Yeah. He spread himself well for Furpos, I suppose.
Onwards and upwards, maybe. Millwall coming to Ellen Road midweek, Wednesday night, and they've come off the back of a mixed results, but I mean, they won at Luton, they beat Portsmouth, beat QPR, obviously beat us at Ellen Road, lost heavily at Plymouth Argyle 5-1, 1-1 against West Brom, 1-1 against Preston, beat Derby County, lost in the FA Cup to Crystal Palace, awful sending off, I presume he's banned for this game, lost to Millwall, and then beat Watford. So it's not going to be easy, is it? It never is against Millwall.
Where are they in the away table?
Oh, Rocco, you're asking me this on the fly. Darragh, keep him busy.
Sorry,
that's usually your reason.
It's because I know you took such a large sample of their form that I thought you might have known that as well. But
I'll have a look now.
God, I want to be. That is a huge, huge game, and it's not going to be at all easy. Might be a bit edgy. Hopefully, it'll just be electric at Ellen Road. Hopefully, the fans will know that the team desperately needs us right now because, we do not want to drop points again, and then you're suddenly into proper panic mode. And you don't want to. If we slide into the type of form that we did under Bielsa in the promotion season, then there's no coming back from that this season. We'll have no chance. So, must win, I'd say.
Millwall are 7th in the away form table. Sheffield United are 1st. Leeds are 3rd.
Where are we in the home table, though? We must be number 1.
Number 1, yeah.
It's off, and that's all that matters on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not to do with anyone else. It's to do with us.
Yeah,
it's literally to do with we've got the best squad in the league. No one can touch us if we're on it. So it is. It's down to, is the right Leeds United going to show up with the right attitude? It didn't today. They honestly didn't today. And if Farke is going to say stuff like, we knew exactly how they were going to play, then he needs to do better as well, because that's not good enough. You can't tell me you knew they were going to do that and you still went out with those tactics in that team and your players went fully G'd up and ready for a fight, because man-to-man, no one won a battle today. Referee didn't help, obviously, today. That penalty. Actually, before we move on to Millwall too much, was it a penalty?
VAR would have given it, which doesn't mean it's a penalty.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We're playing championship rules, and honestly, Twitter is. God, I can't stand it. People going on about corruption all the time for nothing. Like the Nunes foul the other day, and they're saying he should have been sent off. It's just pathetic. So this was a penalty. Yeah, probably it was. VAR or no VAR. Yeah, I think it's a penalty. He kicked him, but so the ref didn't see it. He thought he got the ball. Big deal. It's still 0-0. There's a match to be won. It's early in the game. It's still up to us to win the game. And, refs miss penalties. I just don't see it as a big deal. It's annoying, and it would have helped, and it contributed to the defeat. But that's how top teams lose matches. And that's why we've only lost 4, because often we need a whole set of circumstances to go against us because we are so good.
Yeah. Well, Millwall at home. Go on, Darragh, you going to say something?
I was about to say, last time we played Millwall at home in a must-win game where we were challenging for the title was under Bielsa.
Was it Pablo?
2-0 down. Yeah, we had 2-0 down. So I did a little insurance bet of a £5 on Millwall to win. But we were the better team in that first half, and they just got 2 lucky goals. So at half-time, I cashed out, put it all on Leeds to win. I think we were about 18-1 at that point. That was a nice little bet. Yeah, you put a few quid on that one.
Darragh smoking cigars that night. Cranky.
Yeah, that was the best bet I've ever made in my life. I have a rule, I don't bet any more than £5 ever. So that was a nice one, because I justified it by saying, well, I've still only bet £5. I've won 20, but I've only bet 5.
I don't bet more than £5, but I do bet about 10 times for £5. So don't know whether that counts. Millwall. Yeah, my nerves are jangling. I'm playing QPR, and I'm haunted by that as well. So I went to the QPR game BLC year, so away when Calvin got sent off. So another London match.
The kick-off again, obviously.
Excited.
I think that this time next week we'll all be a lot happier. I really do. I think we'll do the business midweek, and I think we'll beat QPR as well. In fact, I think we might smash them. That's what I reckon.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this version of Rocco.
No, I'm not. me neither. I'm not okay with this. I think we're all going to be in panic stations. I think the next 2 games are very, very tough. But I don't think we're going to get what we want out of these next 2 games. But I think that will give us the jolt we need to kick on for the last 8 games, 7 games, whatever it is left. And I still don't think Burnley have enough in them to get 90 points. So I'm not saying we're gonna drop out. We're not saying we're not going to win the league. I honestly don't know. But these last 2 games are just very tough Leeds games. Millwall at home, QPR away. Historically, they are not teams we do great against.
All we need to do is match what Sheffield United and Burnley do, and we'll be promoted.
Yeah.
That's all we need to do.
Over
As
the course of the 10
champions.
games.
Yeah.
Not just one, not just this week.
Yeah, that's all we need to do, and then we're up. So, and everyone has their ups and downs. I know it's in our song, but they do. And pressure is a funny thing, and it'll do funny things to funny teams. And let's just see. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to predict anything.
Farke said a while ago that I think it was probably it could even have been Blackburn after our last defeat. But anyway, he said, each week, someone drops points. It's very, very rare that everybody wins. And I've sort of made a note of that, and I've noticed that he's right. Every single game week, apart from, in the time that I've been taking notice, however long it is, 3 or 4 months, probably happened twice where everyone's won. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, they're going to drop points. We're going to drop points. We might drop out with second, and then we'll come back. And yeah, the sad thing is that we're not just going to romp home. I don't think we still could win the last 10 games. They're all winnable, but I think it's just going to be jittery, and we don't do well at that, do we? Really handling that sort of thing.
No, we've only got 2 games for the international break. So then is that Ampadu back after that? So
for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, come back and then
down.
And his third knee will break or something, won't it? Anyway, I don't know what that means. Right. Should we leave it at that?
Yeah. I think I had full plans to do a full deep dive into Angus Kinnear, and I'm still planning on doing that. I think that'll be a nice one for people to listen to. I will do a good critique. I want to research it a bit more. I just didn't have the stomach to even think about Leeds anymore today after that defeat. So that's to come.
You have to time, when you make a podcast, you really have to time what you say when, don't you? Because people are just like, oh God, turn this off. Don't want to hear about Angus bloody Kinnear. So yeah, that's the thinking behind Darragh.
Yeah.
Do you know, when I was thinking that today? So do you remember when we beat Nottingham Forest under Javi Gracia? We beat them 4-1 at home, and I said on the podcast it's impossible for us to finish below Nottingham Forest. And then they go stay up, we go down, and now they're going to get the bloody Champions League. And
this is what I mean.
Playoffs.
This is why I don't like the version of Rocco. It's this is what happens when bloody optimism comes out. Right.
Ridiculous, isn't it? You'd think I'd learn.
Yeah, it's really annoyed me. I'm hanging up. Right, everyone, have a good week. Fingers crossed against Millwall. Like Rocco said, anyone who's going to the game, I think we need to get behind them, don't we? Big time. Anyone who's going to QPR as well. Same for that one. But we'll catch you very soon. Thanks ever so much. Cheers, Darragh. Cheers, Rocco.